Oh, hello. Good morning to you, my friend. I'm glad that you've decided to tune in to see me and my misery once again as I sit in my car on alternate side parking day, which is Tuesday. Today's guest is the fantastic Andrew Dickerson. Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hello,
Lou.
Hello. Long time no see.
Indeed.
It's a rare treat. I think our relationship has mostly consisted of me going, "Hey!" as I drive by,
Or bumping into each other on the street,
Yeah,
on the subway. Hey,
or I used to be like riding my bike across the bridge occasionally. I'd see you and I'd like, "Hey!"
that's
I
right.
rode my bike by.
We've had our chats, though.
This is true.
A long time. You used to work in the Village area. I think you were doing video editing.
Oh yes, yeah. I used to work in Soho.
Right, there you go. And I was in Soho too. I was working at Scholastic.
Oh, that's right. I must have known that at some point.
It's not important, but that's where I was going.
Yes.
And we would bump into each other. I remember bumping into you, and we were like, we knew each other from improv, and we were like, what the hell? Let's talk to each other.
Sure, yeah.
And turns out you were a friendly guy,
sure,
which was great, and a relief, because talking to people on the subway is not my main.
Oh, I'm gonna close this top roof because I'm getting a lot of. My producer's saying I get a lot of head shine.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was before you had kids.
Before we both had kids.
Definitely before I had kids, because your kids are much older than mine.
That's true.
And then, since then.
And then also, at the time you were living in this neighborhood.
I was.
So.
I was literally living at the end of this street, in the building that I grew up in.
I know. That's it was a very small world coincidence.
Yes, which is part of the reason I thought, hey, I should go on this show, because I know all about the parking situation in this neighborhood.
Did you ever have to deal with it?
I did. Yeah. I mean, my parents had a car. Actually, they ended up getting a garage space in the building. Then when I got a car, I had to deal with it. And before they got the garage space, I definitely remember hearing that. I was a little kid. But it was like, it was twice a week. And I think it's only once a week on Monday.
Yes, when I lived with my mom, the parking was twice a week there, and it wasn't a like no parking this side, no parking. It was both sides that parked at the same time. So twice a week, one side of the street would be completely double parked.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to like leave your. This is the 90s.
Right.
You'd have to leave your beeper number.
Yes.
In the windshield.
And so that's how it works south of Atlantic Avenue.
Twice a week?
No, not twice a week necessarily.
Oh, you mean half a day?
But
or the double parking?
They don't do it up here in the Heights where it's like you scoot over and double park for 3 hours and then move it back. In Cobble Hill, everybody like blocks the street, or basically blocks the people in the parked, and you move it back 3 hours later.
That is, but no, here's not 3 hours later. It's all day later, which is. But I don't understand how you can do it 3 hours later either, unless you have like no job.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's like 8
the
to
city. Hey, it's Sean
10:30.
Taylor. Let's make sure that you're in here.
Sean Taylor's. All right.
Hi, Sean. Hope you're having a breakfast pizza of some
We can't hear you. What?
Nope, that's true. If you type something, I will see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never understood that. I mean, at the time when I had my car on the Upper West Side, when I was living with my mom, I did have the time to move the car because I was unemployed.
Doesn't make it any better, though.
No, because then it was sort of like I'd come back upstairs and just be like, because no one sat in their car. It was all strictly a beeper thing, and then I would be like, I'm gonna take a shower, and I'd come out and have like 7 messages on my beeper, like 7
really?
beeps.
People would?
Yeah, and I'd be like, go downstairs, and the guy'd be like, hey, you leave your number in the window and you don't answer your pager. Like,
he has a point.
he did have a point. It was my fault.
Yeah.
I owned up to it. I didn't, and even if after I did, I felt bad. But then I got to move my car into a space. You know, it's a racket.
Now I know people have told you this before, but it's got to be worth it for you to. Well, maybe not now that you have this show concept going.
Children.
Yes.
And you know, getting a parking spot around here.
Yeah. What does it cost?
I haven't looked at it.
You haven't looked into it.
It's a lot of money, though.
It's actually $20 a month. If you looked into it.
No.
You gotta be able to find a deal somewhere.
You know, it's just the effort. But it's expensive in this neighborhood. I mean,
what's expensive? $500 a month?
I would think
more than that.
Yeah. I mean, the parking is at a premium in this area because there's no. I mean, half the neighborhood is taken up by Cadman Plaza.
Right.
You know, the projects on the other side, or not projects, the Concord Village.
Just park your car in the projects.
Well, that sounds great. I mean, as it is on this side of the car, just from parking at the end of Hicks Street, we had a criminal, smash our window with a...
on this car?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To take something?
Yeah.
What'd they get?
My GPS, which no one uses anymore. But I was up playing video games, as I am wont to do. And the doorbell rang at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, well, what drunk asshole is this? So I answered it, and it was the police.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, we found this GPS. This guy, this known smash and grab guy, and they looked up the home address, and it was in the GPS and found my apartment. So
detective work.
I know. Can you believe it? The cops doing their job. It's Matty Mako joined the show.
Hey, Matty Mako. All right.
Morning, Matty Mako. And so they actually, they were like, come with us, get in our car. I get in the car at like 2 o'clock in the morning. They fly down the street the wrong way. And it's in a most terrifying manner. And then take me to my car.
Because that's necessary.
Yeah, it was totally like, breaking the law!
Yeah.
You know, it was also 2:30 in the morning, so there's not a lot of traffic.
Right. You got to get your thrills somewhere.
Yeah, Maddie's letting us know that she's on the toilet.
Ooh.
I hope for normal business and not any sort of emergency. But yeah, so they drove me down to the car. It was just smashed glass everywhere. And the guy had used, there's like a, one of those like little New York green spaces, sort of a community garden at the end of the street. And like the guy had picked up like a giant rock from there.
From the green space.
And thrown it through our window. And it didn't go the first time, so there's all these dents from his weird throwing of the rock through my window.
Wow.
And it was still in here, and I was just like,
crude yet effective.
It totally
technique.
worked. And then I pressed charges on the guy because they had caught him.
Yeah.
And I got phone calls from his public defender for months being like, are you still gonna press charges? Like, yes. Like, yeah, he smashed my car window.
Wait, but still?
Yeah. I know, but that was like 6 months ago. Do you still want to do it?
Is it still smashed though? Really?
Yeah. I mean, what if he feels bad about it? So.
I mean, he's just like a total?
I never got to see the
kind
man.
of thing, or?
He's just like a guy who gets his money by doing small smash and grabs.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it was my fault for not having a sign that said nothing of value in the car, which used to be a thing.
As a matter of fact, no radio.
Did you have a no radio car, a sign in your car?
No, we didn't, because I don't think we had a radio in our car that anybody would steal at the time.
Sure. That's what you think.
No, it was literally an AM radio.
AM only.
AM only.
I remember those days.
It was a By the way, we're sitting in a nice Subaru.
This is Subaru Outback 2010, pre-certified. You know.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah.
I don't buy it.
So it's like buying new, basically.
Basically. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I like to buy pre-certified. It takes a lot of the worry out. Plus you get kind of a they usually give like a warranty. It's not like full warranty, but
it's a good program.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
only
usually a
mentioned
lease
that-
vehicle. I just want to talk a little bit more about the pre-certified.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's a great idea, just in general. It's usually a gently used lease car, so yeah, it's good.
It is good.
Thank you for allowing me that.
I mentioned the Subaru because I grew up with Subarus.
You did?
And the Subaru I'm talking about was a 1981 DL hatchback. This is basically the body style of this, but they were much smaller.
Yes.
Then.
When I see other Subarus from previous generations, I'm always like, that is tiny.
Yeah. And that was actually our second Subaru. My parents had a blue 1977 something or other. I don't even know if they had model names back then. But they bought a used.
Uh-huh.
And when that died, they got the 81 Subaru. Anyway, that Subaru had the AM radio.
Ah.
And so nobody ever bothered stealing that. And that became my car that I used in college.
Oh, your parents let you take the Subaru to college?
Eventually. Yes. And then I brought it home one summer, and I was trying to furnish my college apartment.
Okay.
And my grandmother gave me a whole big cardboard box full of like old dishes, spoons, and knives that she wasn't going to use anymore.
Uh-huh.
And I left it in the back of my car.
Oh.
So it was visible. Don't ever do this. No matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Don't leave a scarf. Don't leave a shoe. Because they busted the window to take it. And
that's very funny.
I probably weighed
Sad.
like 40 pounds. So the guy like ran like across Cadman Plaza with this 40-pound box.
Oh, it was in this neighborhood?
Yeah, it was on Cadman Plaza.
Oh my golly.
And yeah, they found the box opened up somewhere. It was like
I fucked up.
chipped dishes, like fuck this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I had a broken window, so
Right,
don't leave things in your car.
That was rough and tumble.
Yeah,
period
this
of
was
the
like
city, though.
yeah, well, it was sort of like the tail end of it. It was like the early '90s. The '80s was more rough and tumble.
That's true. That's true. I remember taking an improv class with James Eason. Remember James Eason?
Sure do.
And James Eason was telling me about, like, you know, he was like, you don't know, like, I moved here in like '92, and it was crazy, and I was like, what? Like, I grew up in like.
I was born here.
Yeah. No, I wasn't born here. Were you born here?
I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved here when I was 3. So.
Okay.
He's a real OG, I guess.
Well, we're about the same age, right? I don't know.
Oh, a lady never tells.
We don't have to get into it, but you know.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
So we probably got the same OG-ness.
My brother, when I left for college in '87, my brother, he used to collect.
Wait, you left for college in '87?
Yeah.
Okay, you're much older than me.
I know. I didn't want to bring it up. Oh, there he goes. Sean Taylor is saying, I was fortunate enough to see you in your Foley artist days. Do you still do Foley?
Oh.
Did you do Foley for a living?
No.
Oh.
I was in the show that you participate in now.
X+1. That's right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
And I think part of my role in that was to be the guy that did the sound effects. So,
Right.
as well as a speaking voice, but I would have a table of random objects
The show has changed.
that would make sounds. I'm sure it has, and I haven't seen it.
No.
But,
Well, it's over. You're overdue that.
I know. I don't get out much lately.
Sean Taylor saw it, and he sat in the front row like this.
What is this bullshit?
That's because his wife was the opening act.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he was nice enough to sit through the show. I think I had a bachelor, but that's okay.
Oh.
I don't need to. There's no explain. Oh, I think he left because he was just. I imitated. Anyway, I was gonna say. Before we got distracted by that. About someone.
You went to college in '87.
Oh yes, my brother had. I may have mentioned this before, but we lived in the Upper West Side in Manhattan,
right.
And between on 85th Street, between Broadway and Amsterdam, was a crack house, and so or a crack store.
Condo. I don't
It
know.
wasn't not like, it's like when you think of a crack house, you think of a flop house where people go and smoke crack. That's what I think. But it was basically like a hole in a concrete wall where people put money in.
Oh,
Just
sure.
a crack spot, maybe.
Dispensary.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And so he had just a bowl full of the vials that he would find from people having been like,
Oh, your
got
brother?
my crack. That was great. Drop. Yeah, so he had all these like rose top crack vials.
And he'd like play with them and like mess around
He
with
just
them?
had them in
Just
a
as a
bowl.
joke?
It was just sort of like, collecting comics.
Yeah.
He collected crack vials.
That.
It's a very 80s.
That's a very New York
Experience.
city.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got a bowl full of used crack files.
Yeah.
Just because.
I mean, if he wanted to, he could have scraped out enough crack
Oh, yeah.
to, get high.
Yeah. But that's like, like kids in like the 50s or something on the Upper West Side might have collected bottle caps or something.
Sure, play some
like,
Skelly.
Something like that. A more innocent time.
That's right.
When it got to you guys.
And now
it's
people
like,
are like, oh, he collected crack vials? A more innocent time. Now he collects
what are they collecting now?
K2 spice packets. Like those, or like
I don't even know what that is.
that's it's like
it's,
synthetic weed that they sell. But but I was just talking to this about my son, giving him an education about drugs because he's 14.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because
this is about the time he would start, wouldn't you think?
no, that's not true. He's my baby.
I know,
He's my
but-
baby angel.
Well, like your brother's picking up crack files on the street.
Different
I know,
times.
different times. No.
But no, so K2 is one of the long-running brands of fake weed. The thing that keeps changing about it is that the government will be like, this weird research chemical, is making people freak out. It's illegal, and so somewhere in China they're like, oh, add more vanilla, and they like change the formula, and vanilla is the number one ingredient in fake weed.
Is that right?
No.
Oh.
But so they'll change the formula, and it'll be like, this will get you high. We still don't know what it does to you in the long run. Keep smoking it, dummies. And they sell it as packets of incense. And
But you can like buy this in a store and it's packaged.
mostly in poorer neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Go to the bodega.
Yeah.
Have some K2.
But it's not
stumble
like
around the neighborhood like a zombie.
it's not like you have to go up to the counter. In the old days when you wanted to buy real weed,
Yeah.
before they had delivery guys, which is just like
The
a
best.
revolution.
It's the best.
Yeah, I don't smoke weed anymore, but you would go into a place that had bulletproof glass.
Yes. Yeah.
And you'd go up with a bag of chips, the 25-cent bag, and
Right.
you put a $20 bill and a quarter through the slot, and that would mean I'd like these chips and $20 of whatever you got back there, and you push the weed through.
Really?
Yeah.
There was no. Wait, was there? Did you actually have to say like whatever you got back
Yeah,
there?
you had to do it with a flourish and a wink and a kind of thing.
Be like,
Yeah.
I one time in high school I did not smoke weed, but I had a very good friend who did, and he was also sort of a big time graffiti fellow, and
A writer.
Yeah, a writer, a tagger, as they were known.
Yeah.
So this guy invited me, just like summer. He was like, "Hey, you want to come with me to the weed spot?" So I was like, "Sure."
This is on the Upper West Side?
Yeah. So we went to this house that was like on 92nd Street, between Riverside and West End Avenue, and it was just like a regular house, except it had two black dudes hanging out in front of it, like who were just going like. And we went into the building, and before you got through the gates, or like the buzz in, there was a door that was probably like a doctor's office or something at one point. We went into there, and there was just a regular old New York City old metal door with a hole punched in it.
Good.
And he was like dunk 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 dunk, and there were like this woman was like, "What you need, baby?" And he was like, "Oh, can I pay you in quarters?" And she's like, "That's fine." And then he shoved he was like, "Here's $1," and he bought a nickel bag. And he was just like,
with
"Give
quarters.
me a," he was like, "Just, he was like, "Give me a fat one." Whatever. And she's like,
"Hold on,
I got you, baby. Here you go. Here's your fat bag of weed. And and I was like, whoa. And then we're in this hallway, and he was just like, while we're killing time while she gets the weed, he pulls out this insane, overjuiced marker. Where you add the ink into it so it makes that sloppy drip look.
Okay.
And he was just just fucking destroyed this hallway, and I was like, oh, don't shit where you eat. This is your weed spot. Don't destroy it. And he's like, fuck it. People who come here will be like, oh shit, Ja was here. And I was like,
yo, that was Ja?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know.
Oh yeah, he writes.
Was it something that was all over the place?
Yes, J.A. He was and the funny thing is that he's the son of a famous film director. But
oh yeah.
Yes, you can see him.
Ford Coppola.
Yes, you can see him in Karate Kid 3. Yes, he plays one of the thugs.
I'll have to watch it then.
You've never watched it? Oh, some say it's the best one of the trilogy.
What happens in the third one? Is that the one with the?
No, not the Japanese girl.
That's the next Karate
Kid. It's the second one is the one when he goes to Okinawa.
Yes.
And does Daniel-san go to that one? I don't think so.
Yeah. Daniel-san goes to Okinawa, and he falls in love with Yukie's granddaughter or something, right?
That's the one I never saw.
Oh, you never saw the second one?
I don't see any movies that don't take place in America.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You're a patriot.
Thank you. Mostly Red Dawn. First one. I don't know where they shot the second one. Could have been in Montreal, probably. That's where they shoot everything these days.
Oh, yeah. Toronto. They say, right? Toronto looks a lot like New York.
Well, Rumble in the Bronx was shot in Toronto. And there's a bunch of fight scenes in Rumble in the Bronx where you can see the mountains.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
The famous New York mountains.
Awesome.
That you can see. It's funny, you can watch all the people come in and out of my building.
Yeah, so you know all these folks.
This lady is buzzing in, so I don't know her.
Okay.
But the guy who came out, I do know.
You do know.
He's my across-the-hall neighbor.
And what kind of relationship do you have with your across-the-hall neighbor?
It's
Is it like a
friendly hello?
And that's it, right?
The guy who was there before, I was more friendly with.
Okay.
But he'd been there a long time. It turned out he had actually taken improv classes from Sarah Nowak.
No way.
And because I saw her.
Sarah Nowak.
I saw her.
No, she's not there.
That's okay. I saw her in the backyard one time, and he was having a barbecue, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so he is a nice guy. He just had a baby and moved.
Oh, okay. More space.
Yep, that's a common thing in this city.
Yeah.
When Jody and I were looking for this apartment, we saw so many apartments that were one-bedroom apartments with a crib, and and then a 5-year-old and a crib. You'd be like, there, just people who are just like, we have foolishly
tried to make this work.
Had too many. We tried to make a regular family in the city, and now we can't find a place to live.
Yeah.
So.
But you have 2 large children, and you're
14 and 8.
Yeah, and you're making it work in there. You got enough.
They got the bunk beds.
Got bunk beds. We're gonna do that eventually.
Yeah, and we've been here since 2001.
Yes.
And
it's a long time.
Now Jody is thinking about finally saying we should move for more space.
Mm-hmm.
But her idea of moving for more space is to move to Carroll Gardens. And I'm like, this monetary swap is not. There's no.
You might get an
advantage.
extra 10 square feet.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is
if I'm
a lot.
Lucky. Yeah,
that's a lot.
In a non-standard apartment shape, probably in one of those converted churches where they have condos in the church.
Yeah.
Did you ever look at one of those for the apartments?
I actually had friends that rented a place in the church that's on Hicks and Congress. I don't know if you know. You
Sure, I do
see
know
it
you
from
do.
the BQE.
Yeah, it's one of the weirder things to turn a church into condos.
Yeah.
Or rental It's weird.
Yeah.
All those hopes and dreams, the prayers that are stuck in there. I find them all the time.
And all the shared sins and
That's right. All the peace be with yous.
forgive me, right?
Yeah, when the thing about confessional booths is that the sins stay in the booth.
They do. They just
Yeah.
accumulate.
Yeah, so unless the priest takes care of it properly, it can, if, like, let's say a church closes and they sell it, and the priest didn't get rid of all the sins,
Yeah.
it's like Pandora's box.
Yeah.
If you go in there, all those sins get on you.
It's like poltergeist or whatever.
Yep. You move the headstones!
It is kind of. I mean, if you are the type that believes in that sort of thing, it's sort of a weird thought to be, this holy place. Hey, I'm not going to move into it, and I'm going to take a
Yeah,
crap
that's right.
over here, and
Yeah.
I'm going to scratch my butt, and it's sort of, I don't know, a little weird. Beautiful architecture, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think, but, people are probably scratching their butts in the pews when you're in there long enough. As long as no one's looking. It's in the back row.
Did you grow up with any religion?
My mother
It's always the mother.
is Catholic. Hopefully, this will not be used against her. But yeah, I grew up going to Trinity Church. My wife and I were just talking about. I went
The one
through.
downtown?
No, it's on the upper west side. It's
And you went to Trinity High School, right?
Trinity for grade school, and then I
For
went to
grade school.
McBurney, which was another but smaller private school that was for people who wash out of other private schools.
So wait, you washed out of Trinity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was not asked to attend the high school, which was not a surprise because I was a straight D student,
Yeah.
but my last year, my senior year, it was 8th grade at Trinity. I started by getting like pneumonia in September and had it for 2 weeks, so I got back into school like trying to catch up, and that was like the final straw. They were like,
No, you're not gonna make it.
no, they had to make room in the high school for all the ladies because that's when it went co-ed, and then it was starting. It was being integrated with girls. This is all boys when I was there until high school. High school was co-ed, and then like they had started adding girls, so there were like girls in the lower classes.
Huh.
But I was lucky. My God, it was a sausage party. It was great. It was great.
Well, I knew some people that went to Trinity because I went to Packer for.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that.
I went to Packer for junior high school for just 3 years, and I knew a lot of people that left Packer to go to Trinity.
Really? For high school?
Yeah. I guess Trinity's a prestigious school.
It
Right?
is.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of movers and shakers. Even the washouts from that school do something to themselves.
Do pretty well.
Yes.
I have a neighbor in my building who went to Trinity also, and she was there at the time. One of the Trump sons was there.
Whoa. I did
think-
not know that they went there.
I don't know if
Sounds
they
like a
both
horrible
went
thing.
there, but I think the younger one went there, and that's the one. Donald Jr. is the older one.
I'm gonna take your word on that. I don't know enough about them.
And
I
then
just
the Eric
scorn
one.
them on it.
He's got sort of a look to his face.
Wait, which one's the ones that are really like? They both have slick back hair, but one of them looks way more
Like Donald
serial
Trump?
killer
Oh,
look. I think that's Eric. Regardless,
doesn't matter. Anyway, she remembers seeing Donald Trump like bringing, I think, Eric to like a high school
That's
or
very funny.
a middle school dance, and he sort of like, her story is like he sort of dragged his son over to my neighbor friend who's a woman and the girls that were around, and he was like, "Hey, this is my son," you know, like, "Hey, girls, this."
That's an amazing impression.
Thank you. And she was like, even then I could tell
He was
like,
going to be president.
that he was just a fucking weird, like, there was something wrong with the way he was behaving with these children. Anyway,
Yes, everything about him is
the worst.
off-putting.
The worst.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say that he was just like, go ahead, grab him by the pussy.
You could do it. Yeah. No, this is before pussy grabbing days. You may not have discovered that yet.
He may be. Oh, so he was like a fledgling pussy grabber at that point, possibly.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I forgot what I was going to say about that. Oh, so in a complete segue. So you went on from, we met in our improv days. Were you in the office?
Yes.
You were in the office.
Yes.
And I was gonna mention, I think
The British office.
Oh my gosh, that's really the best one. I mean, America just keeps going on.
I know,
with the
2
series.
seasons. That's enough. That's
I know,
good.
it's good. But do you remember, like, your improv team, I think, we were up against you guys in this weird competition at this weird theater.
DR2
Yeah.
in Union Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys won that. And then I forget what the reward was for that. Was it like a run at the fledgling pit?
The reward was you would do a cage match against the current cage match champion, which was at the time
At UCB?
at UCB.
Oh, that's
at
funny.
the old theater, the small one on like 21st
Right.
or something.
Yeah, 22nd.
22nd.
I walked by it all the time.
And it was I can't remember the name of the team. Seth Morris was on it. Not Mother. I want to say maybe Naked Babies.
Maybe.
Anyway, they had like a run of like they won like 8 in a row or something like that. And they were like unstoppable. They were really good, and we were like, "Whoa, we're gonna get to do a cage match against them!" And like, we gotta bring all our friends. And what if we win? And we actually won the first one.
Oh, really?
We had a really good show, and we also had a lot of our friends in the audience, and so we got to come back, and we're like so happy. And we won the second one, and then the third one was a total dud. It just fell flat, as happens in improv.
That's what happens in the
Yeah, that's the magic and the joy of it. But yeah, we had 2 really good shows, and then a dud, but we were really psyched about it. It was
That's
fun.
very funny.
Yeah.
We lost. It was a crushing blow.
Oh yeah, we destroyed you guys.
This is why I brought you on the show. So we hashed it out. And then you guys went on to have a really long run at the pit.
Yeah, I think
Did
we
one
did.
of you... No, I'm thinking of Loser Tag, which had... Do you remember that group?
Yeah, I remember.
Like, I met those guys in a sketch class with Ali.
and who was in that?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
The only person I know was there was a guy named Neil Vander something.
Vankerhove.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was more of like an advertising guy.
Yep.
But he somehow finagled his way into being the art director and basically got his group a show for eternity.
Oh, yes.
And when Gun Show, the improv group I was in, put together this sketch comedy show that we built over the course of a fucking year. And we were like, let us do our show at the pit. And he was I really had to like beg him to do it. And then he wouldn't give us our own slot. He was like, you guys can do your thing for loser, like open for Loser Tag or whatever. Like do a half an hour and then we'll come on and do an improv set. And then like we killed it. And after like 2 months, he was like, hey, maybe you guys want to do your own. I was like, you. But unfortunately by then, we had done the show so many times that everyone but me wanted to stop doing it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that was also near the end of Gun Show. But
Yeah. It's hard to keep those groups together.
that group was together for a really long time. But we managed to add people that didn't suck, which is always lucky.
Yeah.
Like Ashley Ward and whatever.
Ashley. I miss her.
I saw her last time I was in LA.
Yeah?
Yes. Her her, and I had
Nate?
dinner with Nate, and then she came later to the bar. It was nice. But I was going to say, somehow you went from working at Scholastic to then working in advertising or copywriting of some variety.
Yes.
With a bunch of other people that were also improvisers.
Right, yeah. So, if you remember Carl Arnheider.
Sure.
Who was also in the office, and that's how I met him. He worked in advertising.
Okay.
And, I don't know, we were hanging out having a drink, and I was like, I gotta get out of this job.
Scholastic job.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Which started out as literally an hourly temp job that was like, I don't care, I just need some money so I can do my comedy at night.
Right.
The lifestyle. Yeah. So the day job, or the survival job, or whatever.
Right.
And then that lasted 6 years. And I was like, what am I doing here? This is horrible. Like, now I'm staff here, and like,
Is it not rewarding to make books for children, educational things?
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And I wasn't even doing that. I was like, I don't even know what I was doing.
Were you there when Dan McCoy was there?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I was in a writer's group with Dan McCoy for a little while. Anyway. But yeah, so I was like sort of crying in my beer to Carl, and I was like, oh God, I'm so depressed. This is horrible, and I don't get paid anything. And he was like, hey, you should try copywriting. And I was like, what is that, copywriting? And he was like, you should check it out. And he worked for a...
he seems kind of wishy-washy when your imitation of him is not very flattering.
I'm sorry, Carl. I'm not an impressionist. I don't claim to be.
All right. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I mean, I met him.
And he worked for a agency that did pharmaceutical advertising.
Okay.
It's a very specific niche.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't know medical stuff. And he was like, it's all right. We don't need it. Like, they just want to know that you're an intelligent, creative guy that can learn things. And I was like, oh, okay. So he got me an interview. I was also and then I also took a copywriting class at SVA, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they hired me. They got me in the door. He got me in the door at this place called CDM.
Okay.
And I got in there. I started making almost twice the money that I was making at Scholastics. I was jazzed. I was getting to brainstorm, come up with ads. I was like, this is great. And so I started... Tony Carnevale was looking for some kind. I was like, "Hey, Tony." No.
Nope. people are trying to get my spot just because I got a car on.
Is there no greater feeling? Nope, I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's very empowering.
So then Tony comes on board because he had TV writing experience and VH1 and all this stuff, and they just sort of liked the idea of hiring these improv comedic types as creatives there. And so then Stan Lykowski got picked up there.
Right.
And
he had been working at LexisNexis, I believe.
He was, right, with Brian Haskell.
I keep a detailed list of where everyone has worked.
Wow. And Rachel Scherer did a brief stint there. And you know who did a briefer stint was Nate Shelkey. He came on board. Terry Ginn worked there too, by the way, in IT. Nate Shelkey lasted like literally a week because it wasn't like, it's not like because he was bad or anything, but
my friend Thurston just joined. He lives in Seattle. Are you on some kind of a meth bender, Thurston? I mean, why are you awake?
What is it, 4 in the morning there?
Yeah. Anyway, that's so he was just sort of like Oh, there are no free pharmaceuticals, or
No. Terry Jin got Nate in, and but Nate was like, but I need flexibility because I go on auditions, and they were like, okay, thinking like once a month he might go on audition.
Right.
But he was going on auditions like every single day.
Oh.
Like during lunch hour or something.
Sure.
Like he'd leave for an hour and a half, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work." And he was like, "Oh, but this is what I do. I thought we talked about it." So he was like, "Okay, it's not gonna work." So we took him out to lunch, and we were like, "See you later."
I remember when I was unemployed, after I was asked to leave my video editing job, I applied for a job to be a video editor on this like terrible show, which was like a proto prank show, you know, that sort of like hidden camera prank, like revisited the pre. It was called like, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was basically children screaming at adults suddenly and surprisingly. So it wasn't like a prank show and then like, you know, where it was just sort of like, hey, mister, help me get this, you know, like making adults do things. It was literally just being like, hey, could you help me? Ah! Like scream. Could you, like,
Stop touching me!
Yeah, there was one of these, a lot of them were like, or like a kid wearing a crazy, like bald-headed mask or a thing, prosthetic, being like, I'm lost, is this map right? Like just screaming. And I was like, you know, okay, I'll edit this show, why not? And the guy was like, so well, like, what are your interests? And I was like, well, I'm doing improv. And he was like,
Hold
on. Like, my wife does improv. I understand people who like improv. It's a passion. But if you want to get serious about video editing, and he basically gave me an ultimatum of like, think about what you want to do with your future and get back to me. I'd love to have you as part of this project, but I can't have like you doing shows like on nights I need editing done. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this job. Like this.
Hey, listen, I don't need your dreams interfering with this.
This awful prank show. He's like, we got picked up for a second season in France. Like I was like,
the French have an odd taste
in pranks
and humor.
This is true. But yeah, so I did not take the job editing that show and continued on unemployment for a long time.
But wait, I thought you went, when I used to run into you on the train, you were like, oh, I'm leaving this gig and I'm going to go take this cushy
That's
gig.
how often we see each other. Like these big oases of time or deserts of time.
And this is also like 15 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But you were going up to Columbia to take...
Right, so I left the video editing place, or what I call my crazy job, and then I went to work with Ryan Sturt at another post-production place, but more of as like a tech. And then I went from there to working, I replaced Ryan Sturt's roommate when he left Columbia to move to Seattle. So I worked at Columbia for 8 years, which is one of those things
where
like...
That's a long time.
That job was great for, you know, having things you like to do at night, because
you could go home.
I could go home. I could go do improv, and I could take class rooms for rehearsals. So I was able to like schedule a room and be like, we're gonna have improv class here. And also, Dan Goldstein, who was our coach, was a professor in the business school and was able to reserve rooms in the business school.
Oh wow!
So we would have our improv class rehearsals in this business school. It was good times.
So it had its perks.
It did. Well, that was the thing. I was going to say, I had a desk. That's where I started my podcast, and I would edit projects back there, because it was like the kind of job where you had enough downtime to do projects.
Yeah.
And then when Gun Show and the improv group broke up, and I no longer had projects to do, then it became a living nightmare. Of like just sitting back there and being like, oh my god.
But I remember so many of your Lou Reed's episodes are interrupted by like, oh wait, hold on a second. What do you need? Like,
the early ones. People were always coming to my window, and I'd be like, Next time, I think I'll take the whole fist. Oh, hello. Like, how can I help you?
Oh, yeah, like covering.
Well,
papers,
luckily, I had the perfect job where like you couldn't see what was on my screen.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because I was basically in a closet that had been turned into an office, and I was up against the back wall of it, and I sat next to this one of those giant R2D2 air conditioners. So it was like constantly like, because it was, they couldn't run air through the vents because they were full of asbestos.
Oh,
it was great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But yeah, so those early episodes, and then I went from there to working at where I work now at Riot Games because of Dustin DiGuidato.
Yep.
And Ryan Sturt. Long story, but it's one of those like comedy world comeback payoffs.
Yeah. It's a small little network. It's like
it is.
When I started my job at CDM, which is where I mentioned Terry Gin worked, I didn't know he worked there. And on my first day,
oh, you didn't?
I walk in, and there's like 10 other people that are starting that day, and sort of like looking around. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Andrew." I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, I work here. I saw your name. I'm setting up your computer. I got you the good laptop, not the old one. I got you." I was like, "This is awesome."
That is awesome. That's always a nice surprise.
It's nice to see a familiar face in a new, scary place.
Yes, it's very reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
So now are you still working copywriting?
I am, but I freelance now. I left that job. I was there about 6 years. And now I work on my own terms, and I bounce around from agency to agency
I see.
on an as-needed basis. But I don't get bogged down in the, client hand-holding. I don't have to travel. I don't have to attend meetings about budgets and things like that.
Right. But because of your position, you've developed an affinity for office culture and office speak.
I haven't had much choice.
Yes.
It's, you're barraged by, I don't know, you actually have sent me quite a few ideas.
Yeah, so I was going to segue into, you started an online presence, or is it the name of your company that you bill people with when you do your freelance work? The company is 10 Ton Titmouse?
10 Ton Titmouse. It's sort of .com. Go to it on the internet. It's sort of, it's an ever-evolving entity.
Seems like it.
My grand plan for it is that it would be like this global conglomerate that does all types of creative work. Right now, we just make coffee mugs and quirky shower curtains.
Yes, the beef curtains.
The beef curtains, that's right.
Yes.
Which is expanded into cheese. I have some cheese curtains.
Cheese curtains, too. That is a serious condition.
I'm going for the whole deli counter of curtains.
Shower apparel?
Yeah.
Apparel, not apparel. Although, I might buy a beef robe.
A beef robe?
You could get, you could print onto
a robe.
Some kind of a terry cloth robe.
I will look into that.
I wonder if that's something you could look up on, Alibaba.
Oh, sure.
Or DHgate.
But I wanted to present you with one of these.
The Don't Bro Me Bro cup.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I was hoping. This is backwards for you, thanks to the miracles of Facebook Live.
We'll just turn it around now.
Oh, no. That's not how... Oh, but Don't Bro Me Bro. I actually shared your site again with this one Riot Games Slack channel. And there's always someone who's like, "Oh my God, these were made for us," because Riot Games is steeped in all kinds of weird office shortcuts.
Well, that's good. Keep showing it to them, because it takes a consumer 20 times before they actually act act on the impulse or something.
Is that right?
Something like that. It's
Like, do I need another coffee
it's
cup?
like, hey, that's cool, and then you just sort of go past it. But after seeing it over and over and over again, they'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna get one of these. But it never happens on the first.
You don't get enough impulse buys.
No, although I get quite a few.
Yeah.
Enough to surprise me. We're like, hey, this person in Neosho, Missouri, that just bought like 2 mugs for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know this person. Like, I don't know how they came across the site, but
That's really funny.
It tickles me.
It is. It's always funny when someone finds your weird website and makes a purchase off of it.
And validates you in some way.
At one point, I had bought marijuana-related domain and put up a dumb page with, like, you know, it was like super basic HTML, and I was really like, I had been learning search engine optimization, so I was like hitting for like certain, like on the first page for a bunch of different terms, and I'd always be like, and it was really just to have Amazon, like an Amazon carousel of weed-related books.
Okay.
And I'd always be like, I'd get like a little Amazon statement being like, you sold 5 copies of the marijuana cookbook. And I'd be like, what?
You did, huh?
Good for you. And I'm glad they also bought a ton of other shit when they bought that.
Wow.
I got my 3% commission. Woo! Ching!
So I did an experiment like that, and I'm going to go back to it eventually. But I made a little store called everythingsbananas.com.
Okay.
And I took,
that sounds familiar.
unlike weed, I took everything that I could find on Amazon that was banana related and made it into a little website.
Oh.
So there are all these like little gadgets that are banana shaped. You could buy banana necklaces, earrings,
I
wine
do
bottle
remember this.
stoppers, pot holders, door stops.
I wish the audience could see all your hand gestures, because there's a lot of very forceful banana motions going on.
You know,
You know, a banana inserter.
well, the obvious one is the silly banana cutter thing that has
Yes,
like all the
yes,
right?
I just saw that yesterday.
For the first time?
No,
No,
I just
no. It's a-
someone had posted it, or you know, it was one of those things you see.
It was an internet phenomenon 5 or 6 years ago. But they have other banana cutters. They have one that's like you insert the banana into this circular blade type thing, and you go like snip, snip, snip. That's another type of banana cutter.
Oh man!
As if you needed more than one.
Wow. I never even thought. I would like a banana spiralizer because I want to make banana pasta. Not really. I don't think a banana would hold up to spiralizing very well. You know,
Well,
you seen the spiralized
sure I have.
zooks and cukes, whatnots?
I think that
Banana spiralizer. Get on it, China. Start making it.
I'm sure they're making it happen.
I think, again, banana would not hold up well to spiralizing.
I think you're kind of killing the idea before it has a chance to actually blossom into something beautiful.
I apologize.
Thank you.
I think a plantain might be better. It's more starchy.
Maybe green banana
Yeah.
has
Maybe.
the
Oh,
firmness.
like a papaya. Anyway.
But so I did not get the action that you got on your weed site.
Oh yeah, but you didn't. You weren't doing a lot of.
I don't think
You
I
weren't
have
going
that.
for SERPs.
I don't know what that is, but I don't have the SEO skills. I'm guessing.
I forget what that stands for. It's like search engine. Shit, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
But yeah.
At one point, I cared about search engine optimization.
I'll get some kid to do that for me. Right?
Yeah. And you know, it's great until someone black hats your search. Oh, it's it's rank. It's your placement.
Oh.
How you rank. I bet if you search 10-10 Titmouse, you're at the top of the.
I'm the first 10-ton titmouse. And if
Wait, did you really get a cease and desist from some company that?
I did, yes. They're called Titmouse Incorporated, Titmouse Inc., and they're an animation company. And they said, hey, you know, this we're concerned that this kind of like lifts our identity, and And I consulted with an attorney, and they were like, you sell mugs and shower curtains. Like, that's what your trademark covers. And their trademark covers animation services. And your name is 10 Tunted. Anyway, they're like, they have no. So he was just like, just don't respond to the letter at all. Don't even acknowledge it. Because if you respond to it, then they have a date that they can say, well, you responded on this day, and that's the day we started engaging. Like, if you don't engage, then it's like they can't say you ever actually.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so, and it went away, and my trademark is still valid.
Hey, did you actually trademark it?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
You'll see there's a little TM there.
I know, but a lot of people put the TM there, and they don't really do it.
Well, so the TM, you can put the TM while it's like being filed and in the process.
Sure, but I'm saying most people don't even bother.
Yeah. And then when you get the actual trademark, that's when you can put what we call in advertising the R-ball.
Oh, sure. Registered trademark.
Yes.
Got it.
And I'm like, I think I'm weeks away from getting the R-ball.
How do you get an Esquire?
You have to become a lawyer.
Oh, is that how that works? I don't know.
I think that means lawyer.
Okay.
Or you get a subscription to Esquire.
Oh. I'm going to look into that one. It seems cheaper.
And more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get menswear tips.
All the lawyers I know seem somewhat miserable, but like they're okay with it.
I guess they get compensated for their misery.
This is the truth.
Right.
I went to a high school reunion for the high school I didn't go to, Trinity.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And another guy, I was invited by some friends who did graduate. And none of the girls know me because I went to school.
Because you didn't go there.
But some of the guys
dashing fellow.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Why
him.
didn't you finish? But one of the guys that I went there with, who also didn't finish because his family moved out of the city.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer now, and he's like a total, a lovely man. I totally hadn't expected to reconnect with him, but his whole thing is like representing like prostitutes and speeding tickets and stuff like that. And he's apparently really well compensated.
Oh, really? I was going to say, that's not the kind of lawyer that makes a ton of money.
Well, he does everything. Like, so it's like real estate law, whatever. I mean, he's doing fine. He's not
doing
like
fine.
doing IP law for,
Yeah.
I have another friend who does IP law for Martha Stewart.
IP is intellectual
Property.
Yes.
So it's all like licensing
Right.
Martha Stewart brands to be like, we want Martha Stewart on this, coffee filter.
Right.
Where you can see her face. And you put
Well,
coffee
like,
on her
hey,
face.
you're using Martha Stewart's face on something that you can. Those are the guys that contacted me. They were saying, you can't use the tip note.
I'm sure it wasn't my friend.
No, not your friend.
He's a good guy.
But someone like your friend who makes a lot of money bullying little guys like me with fledgling websites.
Yeah. Well, they have to do something for fun.
Yeah.
But this is going well for you? I mean, as a side project, it's a fun thing to do?
It's a great, fun thing to
It's
do.
funny when people who aren't connected to you buy or support a thing that you do.
It's the best.
And are those people who are sending you photos people you don't know? Some of them are, some of them aren't?
No, all the people that I have photos of are people that I know because I'm like, hey, if you get one, would you mind taking a picture?
Okay. Better to get unsolicited photos. You should request it.
I'm thinking about sending out. I'm going to do some email marketing.
Okay.
And I'm going to send emails to my former customers saying like, hey, if you want to send me a picture of the mug that you got, I'll give you a discount on your next purchase or something,
Because when I send magnets to my podcast listeners, I request that they send photos of the magnet in its new home.
Right, yeah.
And sometimes people send me pictures of themselves with the magnets. And sometimes, mostly they don't. Mostly it's like, here's a pretty far away picture of my refrigerator.
And that dot is your magnet.
Basically. I just got my second picture of my magnet on a dragon phallus dildo.
second.
Yeah, yeah. So more than one person who listens to my podcast has purchased. I don't know if it was a dragon penis shaped dildo, but it may have been like a hippogriff or.
What's a hippogriff? That's like another dragon.
Another
type?
fantastical creature. Okay. Usually, I think it has like a lion with goat wings and.
Didn't occur to me that they would make dildos of.
Yes, the website is called Bad Dragon, and they make rather massive, giant, fake fantasy animal penis dildos.
Wow.
And vaginas too. And they make like this crazy egg depositor where you can like squeeze an egg into yourself and then like.
Oh, like a chicken egg, not like a fertilization thing.
No, not like a turkey baster. Sort of like no. It's like if you want to fantasize that something deposits an egg in you, that then you pass yourself later.
In your butt.
Well, I suppose if you have a different orifice, you could put it.
I mean, it would have to be hard boiled, right?
Well, it's not a real egg.
Oh, it's like a plastic Easter egg with a treat.
It comes with its own fantasy egg.
Okay.
That must be easy to pass, I think. Good morning, everyone who's watching.
Was this a Lou Reed's episode that I didn't catch?
Go back and watch the Bad Dragon episode.
I will have to do that.
You know, it's funny that I learned about that website from the website I hang out at, somethingawful.com, and because they had done a thing about Bad Dragon, and the owner of Bad Dragon joined Something Awful and was like, "Oh, thanks! Like, I hope you guys like the site," and got the community to start like designing a dildo, some kind of a dildo, and then the owners of the site just stepped in and were like, "Fuck this!" and like banned him and like, "Get out of here." We don't want. People were designing a dildo that looked like a hand grenade.
Oh.
It was not the greatest one.
Okay.
But yeah, so baddragon.com. It's
I'm not affiliated with that. 10tontitmouse.com.
Yes, yeah.
Wholesome.
Well, if you want to start your like your wholesome office humor, be like, don't penetrate me with that dragon phallus, bro. It doesn't quite fit into the.
Yeah, I'd have to get a job in a different office to hear that.
Yeah. You know, I bet Bad Dragon is hiring.
They could be. Maybe it's time for a change.
Hey, you know, they say every 7 years.
Change is good.
Change happens. You know,
it's scary.
You break the life into 7 years, 6 or 7 year blocks.
You know, that sounds about right. I'm due for a change.
That's right. What's your change going to be? We're past the time of the meter maids.
We did it!
We did it. We made it.
We fended off.
I thought I was going to have to poop, but I didn't.
Oh.
Coffee makes me poop. That's one of your coffee cups too, right? Coffee makes me poop, though.
No. I did a... Coffee makes me poop is... you can find that mug everywhere.
Yeah, it's not original.
I did a Coffee makes me poop. You know the whole Trump thing?
Of course.
So I did Coffee makes me poop. And then I have a mug that says... Coffee make me horny, though.
That's what it is. Coffee make me horny, though. The early cups were very sort of like, more like non sequiturs or like a photo that didn't match a quote.
I have a bunch of those, and that's a series that I want to continue. But this is the one that's really sort of just like built on itself. It's obviously
this is a go with what you know type of cup,
and it's like endless. Like in meetings, I just write 3 or 4 new things down a day.
And I have myself, as you know, because you've experienced it. I've been in a meeting where someone said something and I just like had to stop taking notes and send you.
You text it.
Yeah, because
scope creep.
Yeah.
I got to get around to that.
The scope creep, cool deck. Oh yeah, can you effort to solve?
Yeah, we're efforting a solve, the ask. Big one I'm hearing a lot lately, and I've heard it for a long time, but you gotta make it ownable. It's gotta be ownable.
I've never heard that one.
Did. You can tell what it means.
Yeah. But it was and Rachel Shearer with the snackable content.
Yes, she sent me that one, and I put that one up. Snackable. Perfect. Everybody likes a snack. Keep them coming back for more content.
Gross.
Lou, this has been awesome.
Thank you so much for coming and sitting in the car with me. It's been a delight.
My pleasure.
Long overdue. It's nice when people who are simpatico can get together, even though we almost never see each other.
We should hang out, though.
We should.
I live 8 blocks that way.
Yeah, and I live right here.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go play some video games.
Yeah, man. I got time to kill before the babysitter comes. And Asher is actually up there by himself watching TV. Modern parenting.
Hey, that's a New York kid right there.
Yeah. Latchkey. All right. Thanks for watching, those who have tuned in.
All
and
right.
we'll see you later.